Why would you do that? Like, you know that I want to go through that. Oh my God, bro, why would you do that? I cannot explain to you how frustrating that is. Like, people flying through the middle of the lane, dude. Like, you know that's wrong, bro. This is where all the kids are hanging out. Oh, it's so bad when I get annoyed with these people or these situations. Because the people are just so nice, you know? I'm having a little bit of a moment this morning because let's say about a year or so ago, I really wanted to be able to have the opportunity to just get on my bike and ride if I was having a bad day or something. You know, or like go for a night ride, kind of clear your head. And truth is, I can do that. You know, it's actually an actual opportunity now. So that just kind of, you know, got to me a little bit because things are in a weird spot right now. It's like, I question a lot of the decisions that I've made over the past few months. A lot of them have been aligned with like the fact that I haven't been successful in life, and because of that, I think I've made poor decisions that could have led to totally different outcomes for myself. And I'm just lucky, honestly, to have the people that I have in my life to keep this from being a catastrophic event. But you know, life is just really lifing right now, and I'm just so grateful that I have a motorcycle that I can get on and ride to clear my head, also obviously to do things that I need to do and get around, but in this case it's going to be a little bit of both, so just super grateful for it. Let's get this thing started. All right. Everything's gonna be okay. Not only that, but things are going exactly the way they're supposed to. The other day I had this lady say to me that she doesn't believe that everything happens for a reason. And although I vehemently disagree with her, I let it go. And I've been thinking about it for a little bit, because I've just got some interesting things going on in my life right now that I guess I'd prefer to have some sort of meaning to. And as I think about it, I realize, like, I mean, is there even really such a thing as objective experience? Because think about it. Things that happen only mean whatever they mean to you. And whatever happens to someone else might be a totally different experience for them. And so with that being the case, then definitely the meaning for whatever it is that's happening in your life can also be up to you. Not only does the feelings and the experience itself have its own unique interpretation by your consciousness, but also the actual meaning to these things. I mean, you get to choose that. You get to decide that for yourself. So who's to say that everything doesn't happen for a reason? I mean, everything does happen for whatever reason you prescribe to it. And I personally think that's a very powerful way of going about life. Because honestly, so many things happen, and it's always up to you how you respond to it. You can't really choose what happens. You gotta leave that to some higher power if you want to believe in one. But the way that you actually respond to that, right, that's up to you. What do you think about doing this for the channel? This is the kind of vibes that I actually had in my mind initially, was just going out for rides and talking about life, you know? But I don't know. So I know there's gonna be a lot of lessons to learn, not only in the time that I'm traveling here, but also in the traffic patterns alone. Even the traffic patterns teach you so many lessons about life. It's crazy. One thing I've learned about this bike, man, is, or about being on a bike, is that like, it's not as like stuck to the ground as it might feel or that you might imagine. And it might be just this particular bike, don't get me wrong, because it's a little 150 and it's clearly a little bit older naked bike. So it's like, I mean, I don't know, like it just feels like this thing is not all that stuck to the ground. And because of that, you know, going too fast or, you know, hitting curves certain ways, it's just like, it feels pretty dangerous. It doesn't feel like there's a whole lot keeping this thing from tipping over. And that's been interesting to me, to realize that, like, I don't have the words to describe this. Like, I want to say, like, it's not as much of a science to this as it may seem, but I mean, honestly, that might be what I'm trying to say. Like, riding is a little bit of an art form, man, and like, the physics of these machines is not set in stone. Things change, and you have to be prepared for that, and you have to be aware of that as you're riding. You know, you got to pay attention to your machine and make sure that you understand it, make sure that you feel it, make sure that you're listening to it. Because yeah, it's not as much of a science as you might look at it as. And maybe that's just my own experiences here, but maybe that's another metaphor for life too. All right, it has been a hyper productive day so far. Got to meet up with Cobb, the homie from Switzerland who lives here, and that was a really, really cool experience. We met virtually. He hit me up on from my other YouTube channel. We chatted for some time, thinking about some ways to collaborate, and he just happened to be living in Bangkok. So here I am a month later, actually meeting up with him, and we had a really cool workout session, and then we went to get some food, and that was just a really cool time. He's a really, really good, kind-hearted individual, and I'm super glad that he's in my life, period. And so after that, I went home, grinded out on some work for quite a few hours, actually. I made 2 different videos for 2 different channels, got them edited up and ready to post. So now I'm going off to this meetup, which is the Wantrepreneurs meetup. Oh, that's hilarious. If anyone knows that song, they know, which no one knows. But so I'm going to that meetup now, and then after that, we'll try to get like a snack or something, because I've been without any sweets today, and for some reason I'm just not okay with that. So yeah, let's go to this other meetup, see what happens, and I'll keep you guys posted. Oh, and one other thing is that I extended my stay for another 2 weeks here in Bangkok. And then after that, I'll probably go to Chiang Mai. So couldn't just be here for 2 weeks, right? It's just not that kind of a place. You gotta spend some time here. And truth is, it's probably bad that I came here first, because I'm not gonna wanna leave, but we'll figure it out. See y'all when I get there. So something that I've recognized about myself as of today, I had to admit it, is that I've lost a lot of my natural curiosity. You know, I've just had some people ask me some really insightful questions, and I realized that I don't ask enough of those kinds of questions of others. And so I constantly found myself saying, oh, but what about you? Oh, but what about you? But never being the first one to ask the question that was actually a really, really good, high level of curiosity kind of question. And I don't like that. So I'm gonna actually ask them about that and why they did that, how they did that, thought of those things in particular to ask. And I'm sure that's not necessarily gonna do what I want it to do for me, but I at least gotta see, right? Like what they have to say about that. Trying to catch this, oof, fuck. There's Harley over here. Look at how hard that thing is, bro. Anybody know what kind of bike that is? Let me know in the comments. I can't wait to hear this thing pull off. That's awesome. The level of power that he had at such a low RPM and gear too. Oh wow. I feel like that's such a different existence on the road, man. Having that kind of power and presence. Wow. What a beautiful bike. So this is me coming into a much busier part of town, and we just had to lane split probably like 50 cars to get up to the front of this light. I think this is where I was, yeah, this is where I was last night. It's a very, very, very beautiful part of town. Feels like you're in a movie over here. So I know where I can go to film some funny money content, and it's definitely over here. You got a lot of tourists, lots of degenerates, and so it'll be really funny to see what people have to say out here. We're in Thailand now. It'll be much harder probably to do this in Chiang Mai, you know? So I gotta do it while I'm here. I'm not sure I understand how this works. It's like a weird yield kind of thing. Yeah, this part of town is super Western. You see plenty of Western people, and then you also see plenty of Western shops and like bar and grill types of setups with the big TVs, which it looks pretty cool to be fair, but it's just kind of funny that you're in the middle of Bangkok and they're mimicking the experience that Westerners want, I guess, at the end of the day, which is hilarious. I mean, it's kind of lame. Like, why would you want to come to a place like Bangkok and live like that? Personally, right? And I'm actually just lucky enough to be able to chill in the cut. Like, I found a really cool little neighborhood that I'm staying in, which I didn't expect, you know what I mean? I didn't plan for that per se, it was just cheaper. Here we go. Some of the hip stuff. This is where all the kids are hanging out. Yeah, this is where all the kids are hanging these days. 4A, okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thanks. You really got to assume that these cars do not see you, brother, because it's also like you're so used to the driver being on the other side if you drive on the other side of the road. So you think that the driver can see you, but the driver's on the other side of that car, right? So they couldn't see me at all. I feel like I've been in this parking lot before. In fact, I definitely have. And I parked on 4A. This was when I went to this was my first day here, when I went to the steakhouse, or the place where we got the hanger steak. Sol and Luna. Oh no, this is the Market Cafe, okay. Yeah, I remember this place too, though. Yeah, this is the place where I told the story about the spice. Let's park next to this other MT right here. MT 15, in fact. All right, so that was a very successful meetup. I met a guy that I've been kind of seeing around at a lot of different meetups. So we finally got to chat. He came up to me because I guess he was like, you know, we've seen each other around a ton, bro. Like, let's chat. So that was pretty cool. We chatted for probably like an hour, honestly. Very cool guy from Morocco. Has a very spiritual kind of vibe to him, and you know, it's something that I'm trying to get much closer to personally. So that was pretty cool. He seems to have some cool roots in the region, and he's working on a really cool project where he's tokenizing the recycling of plastics. So that's a pretty dang cool thing to be doing. There's a very kind of, I mean, just spiritual look at the world and the way that it's being run, and how that's not necessarily the way that the world's being run, not being very good for humanity. And you know, I did my best, because you know, I'm a very critical thinker and a critical person, and I think I did an amazing job of like asking him really good questions that weren't like imposing my own beliefs, because I had my own beliefs, but instead of trying to impose my beliefs upon him, I just tried to really understand his, like fully, and the spirit of what he's saying versus the technicalities of it. Because I'm the kind of person that will very quickly attack the technicalities, and mainly because I'm not smart enough to actually attack the philosophy. And so I noticed that in myself, and I thought to myself, and how can I actually try to understand the philosophy or the overall heart of what it is that's being said versus the technicalities of it. So I think I did a pretty good job of that, honestly. Very, very cool guy, and definitely reminded me of the fact he was talking about how he needs to get under the sun and get out into the islands, and I just could completely vibe with that. I'm like, you know, I'm kind of denying it at the moment, but in a way, that's definitely what I need. Cub, cum, cub. Huh?
150 baht.
Okay. 180 baht. My goodness. Huh?
Where this you come to use hotel service?
Hotel service.
Where this you?
Where is it?
Where this you come to use hotel service?
Oh, I don't understand.
150 baht.
Yeah, that I understand. Okay, have a good night. Oh, it's so bad when I get annoyed with these people or these situations, because the people are just so nice, you know. But sometimes this stuff annoys me. I just don't understand it. Like, sometimes you pay for parking, sometimes you don't. And what are those circumstances? I have no idea, dude. Taxi, taxi, taxi. So lots of working women over here in this area, which is quite an interesting thing to see. I mean, it's pretty sad, to be honest. I try not to say that, but it is sad, dude. Like how is that? Like, how is that just a normal thing, you know? God, I hate that. Like, dude, why would you do that? Like, you know that I want to go through that. Oh my God, bro, why would you do that? Like, what the actual heck, man? Bros, sisters. tired of the way that these people are riding, bro. Sheesh. I cannot explain to you how frustrating that is. Like, people flying through the middle of the lane, dude. Like, you know that's wrong, bro. You know that that's wrong. I don't care what the culture is, what the traffic pattern is. Going 20 miles an hour through the freaking middle of cars is like a crazy thing to do, bro. Especially when you see other people lane splitting.